Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we are discussing movie Intrusion. Intrusion. Do I pronounce it correctly? Actually, Intrusion. Yeah. So a fresh one, 2021. So I'm wonder why it's not woke movie, right? In a way. So why don't we have this, modern agenda, or as always, agenda about girl power, black power, everything. So in the movie we miss this. Okay, it's kind of, how would we describe the genre of the movie? Is it a detective? Is it a thriller? What else? Well,
it's
what
a kind of thriller, I think.
How would we define? What does mean thriller?
I mean, because it is about a psycho man. Mm-hmm. So they make us thrilled, they make us scared.
Mm-hmm. But so, there are some special genre, horror movies, right? So what is the difference between horror movies and thriller?
I mean, Teacher Lee, with your permission, I just want to say something. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Thriller makes you tense and excited, but horror movies makes you really scared.
Yeah, thrillers aren't as frightening as horror movies. Thrillers are more a little bit of fear and suspense. I think suspense is the key thing to thrillers. Mm-hmm. They keep you on the edge of your seat wondering what's going to happen. What's going on here? Who's trying to do what to whom? I think it's more like a lot of questions and you're waiting for the answers to be revealed.
Okay, let's
Teacher Lee, what about vampire films? Are they horror movies?
They're more, probably horror. I'm not sure how they classify them, but I would say probably horror or fantasy.
Because I feel really, really afraid of watching them.
Okay, so let me summarize. So if we see some kind of catastrophe in the beginning of the movie and we understand what the danger is, it's a horror movie, right? We are scared, but we understand what is happening on, right? Like just a nuclear disaster or I don't know, tsunami. But if we, if we don't know what is really happening on, so we find dead bodies from now and then, right? So it's kind of a thriller. Or we don't understand. So suspense, right? We don't know. That's the key. Okay. I guess we know about the genre of the movie. So what about characters? There are only few, right? Who are the characters in the movie? Henry and?
I don't know. Mira.
Mm-hmm. Mira and Henry. Mira. So who are they in general? They're a couple, right? You know this word? So they're wife and husband, so a couple, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, they're a couple, they're living in their room, and it's a story about them mostly, right? Okay. So I suggest, so we can read the synopsis provided by Teacher Lee. We can do it, in slow pace, in fast pace, as you wish. So ask any questions. So no rush here. So let's read it. Gerard, could you please start with the first one?
Okay. Mira and Henry are married couple living in an isolated, ultramodern house in Corrales, New Mexico, which Henry designed and built. Mira is a cancer survivor and worries that the disease may return, but Henry is very understanding and supportive. One evening, after returning home from a date night, the couple find that their house has been broken into and the living room trashed. The only things stolen are a laptop and their cell phones, which they left behind so as not to be a distraction during their date. After a visit from a detective, Henry installs a security system at the house.
Right. So how would you describe this date that they had?
I know what a normal dinner, couple.
But they looked like they were close to each other, right? So I didn't feel any tense between them, right? So they were supportive, just a lovely couple.
Yes, happy married couple. I think for 12 years, so they knew each other very well. I didn't feel that they were harassed by the phone all night, you know, because he was an architect and she was working, you know, in a place during the day. I don't think they would be worried at night. You know, I don't know why they didn't take the phone. Imagine you have an accident with a car because their house is in the outskirts of the city, so it doesn't have any sense. Or you can put the phone down, and that's it.
But I don't
silence them. Yeah.
Silence.
I don't think it's because of the calls, you know, they receive. You know, in some bars, in some cafes in Russia, it's now very popular to have a box for phones. You enter here, you put your phone into the box, and you go to the bar. So it's supposed that you communicate with people, not looking on Facebook or something. So I think that's the idea. So you don't look in your phone.
Do you actually have places in Russia where you have to put your phones in a box?
You don't have to. It's just, you know, just a way, you know. It's like a table, you know. So there we communicate with people, not on Facebook. So it's the idea. So because everyone, you know, now especially young people, they sit on one table and everyone sits on Instagram. So to prevent this, you know, borrow owner encourage people, you know, leave your phones there, they will be safe. That's the idea.
Something in this movie, why did the intruders only take the cell phones? I mean, there had to be more expensive things in the house than two cell phones. Why did they take the cell phones? They didn't ever make use of them during the movie, as far as I know.
Because literally their aim is not to rob the house.
Yes.
Yeah, but why take cell phones?
To get information?
Yeah.
To look at gallery, photos.
Yeah, okay, maybe. To blackmail them, okay.
Maybe. I don't think it's blackmail. Okay, we will go to this, right? Soon.
Don't spoil it yet.
Okay. Ivan, zoom it a little bigger. It got smaller somehow when you did something, so...
Okay.
Try to fill the screen up. Control. That's good. That's better. Okay. All right.
Okay. Leila, could you please read the next one?
A few days later, Mira is woken in the night by strange noises in the house, like rattling pipes. When she tries the lights, they don't work. Henry goes outside to check the generator and finds it has been smashed. He sees flashlight beams in the windows of the house and realizes the intruders have returned. Dashing back inside, he finds Mira bound and gagged in the bedroom. He releases her and they try to escape, but are pursued by masked men. Mira manages to get the couple's car, but then hears gunshots from inside the house. A wounded man staggers outside, followed by Henry, who shoots and kills him. She learns that Henry had a handgun hidden in the house that she didn't know about.
So where he hides this handgun?
If I'm not wrong, in a drawer, just through they were in the corridor of the house, so he left Mira on her own and just crossed, and then yes, in the drawer.
I think it was a house plant, right?
Plant pot.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, it was attached. It was attached in the planet pots, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks,
which is a stupid place to hide a gun, right? You're sleeping in bed, you hear an intruder, you get up, you run down to that hallway, you pull up this pot, and you grab your gun. Duh!
Well,
and also, teacher, if you water the plant, what will happen to the gun?
Yeah, but it was covered in plastic or something, in plastic bag.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's stupid to hide it away from where you're going to be when your house is probably broken into.
Yeah, because it's not for the defensive, right? So because for defensive it's very stupid. For defense you need your gun with you somewhere around, right? But if it's a weapon to attack someone, when you have initiative, right? When you have dig it out beforehand and then attack, it makes sense, right? So at that moment I start to be suspicious.
But guys, maybe he has different guns in different places, and the one he took was the closest to him.
Yes.
So yeah, I believe he hid different guns in different places.
Possible, yeah. And he was also trying to hide it from her. I don't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't like guns.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, she deserves to be raped and murdered and robbed. I'm sorry. If you're afraid of guns, there's violence in this world, okay?
Yes. But don't you think that it was more surprising that an isolated car with any alarm measures, system, any alarm system?
No alarm system, right?
Yeah. And I remember they had a kind of conversation after in the restaurant, and she blamed him, like, you hid the gun from me, and he answered, you will never allow me to have a gun in the house. So it was a kind of ideology. It was not like how we call it. It was an idea, right? Pacifism.
Maybe.
Let me bring something up that a lot of people don't understand. This was a marriage, okay? This is a marriage. He wants a gun. She doesn't want a gun. Okay, they've got a conflict. Marriage is about compromise, not you'll do it my way. I would have said, I'm going to have a gun in the house to protect our lives from intruders. I know you don't like guns, so I'll hide it so you don't have to see it. Okay? It should be a compromise. It's not like, oh, I can't stand the thought of a gun in the house. Oh, my God. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Come on, It's ridiculous. Compromise,
Right.
A lot of marriages is like, do it my way or I'm going to divorce you. Well, that's not why you get married, Both sides need to have a little bit of, accommodation.
Okay, Leila, despite the fact of hidden gun, what else was suspicious in this, paragraph, in this episode?
Will you please repeat again, Ivan? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, so despite this gun, so that the fact that the gun was hidden, right, it's kind of suspicious. So what else was suspicious in this scene?
I mean, I didn't understand why these intruders broke into the house for the second time. Although they didn't steal a lot of things, but the computer and the cell phones, they came back again. That made me think a bit. And Henry's reaction was a bit strange for me, because he was shooting the man not as if he wanted to kill them on purpose.
Yeah, it's kind of, I had a strange feeling, right? He's an architect, right? He's a kind of a civilian guy, not a soldier, not an officer, not a police. But he had a gun, he killed, 3 men and...
Two men, Ivan, right? 2 men.
2 men and 1 injured.
Yeah, one of them at hospital.
Yeah. So he behaved like he well trained. He's a commando guy, right? So
like John Wick.
Yeah. And I have no regret, right? So even if you are right, if the intruders, I guess that for ordinary person it will be a stress, a shock for years, right? After this, but he was okay on the next day, right? So they were here, I killed him, everything okay. So
but Ivan, Teacher Lee wrote us something very interesting. I thought about this thing too, They tied his wife, but they didn't give harm to her.
They didn't ask her any questions either.
Right.
So
why not bring her down to the living room and say, come out, we've got your wife, you know. We need to have a conversation. But instead, they just break in, tie her up, and then leave her there. It didn't make any sense to me.
Right.
Did they have brands, the three intruders?
One of them did, I think. Remember they looked at the security camera, I think, and there were like 3 men. I thought there were, I may be thinking of a different movie. But
Three men, literally.
Yeah, one of them had a
gun.
Yeah, one had a gun. I think they saw the 3 men on the security camera. No, I'm thinking of a different thing. Never mind. I'm thinking of a different thing.
Yeah. Well, so it was an intense episode, right? So intense episode of Intrusion, and you know, this guy was a commander again. So they. So what else? I guess we can read it to the next one, right?
One commenter on the movie website said, if these guys were construction crew, they would know the plan of the house, and they wouldn't need to wander through the house searching randomly. They would know exactly where to go. Yeah. Which is a good point.
Yeah. Okay, what about next one? Jihan, would you like to read the next one?
Okay. Okay, the next day, right? Okay, yeah. The next day at the police station, Mira and Henry are shown mugshots of 3 intruders, one of whom is still alive in the ICU at the local hospital. They were all from the Cub family, living in a rundown trailer park on the outskirts of town. They also learned that a young woman, Christine Cup, from the same family, has recently gone missing. Mira is left extremely traumatized by these events. Henry assures her he has gotten rid of it and suggests that despite what has happened, they should go ahead with the housewarming party they had intended to give. With this in mind, he drives off to buy supplies for the party. Mira notices he has left his wallet, and when she cannot reach him by phone, she decides to follow him to the store.
Right. So teacher Lee may market some words there, and it's good because I don't know what is mugshot. Jihan, do you know what is a mugshot?
It's the picture they take during the lineup. We have it before in another movie.
Yeah. So we had a scale on the wall, right? And all these
the lines.
Usual suspects. Right? So front and how they say it?
Side, yeah, front and side shots. So anytime you're arrested, they'll take mug shots. Right. That way, if you escape, they can put you on a wanted poster. Wanted, this face.
Okay. What about rundown trailer park? What is this?
It's the place the intruders live in. It was in a bad condition, so maybe it's a poor place.
Yeah. So, poor condition, right? So it's a kind of a trashy place for poor people, right? You don't want to be there unless you have to. Right?
You're broke.
Usually indicates an area where a lot of black people live. Sadly.
Okay. Yeah, and speaking about housewarming party, what is this, Jihan?
I guess that when you move to another house, usually it depends on different cultures. Sometimes you don't have to, but in other cultures, it's better to do it as it's more polite to invite people to your house. So you just show them the house, take a tour there.
Yeah, I think there are many ideas in this, right? You can get known by your neighbors, right? So you can get acquaintance.
Acquaintance, yep, acquaintances.
Yeah,
and people bring you presents.
So you can do it with friends that you already know, but let's say you move into a new neighborhood. the neighbors might get together and say, let's hold a housewarming party so you can meet the neighbors and everyone can get to know who you are and we can talk and chat and, you know. So it may be with neighbors that you don't know or it may be with friends, but it's just a celebration, you know, a new home, you know, kind of. It's just a celebration among friends or neighbors, yeah.
Do you have this tradition, Jahan, in your place?
Yes, but it's only about friends, not neighbors. They can gather later, but it's the main idea. It's about showing your cousins and relatives, friends, your house. You all gather at one night.
Okay. So the idea is I'm live here now, you can find me there, right?
Exactly.
Well, the idea is also, in the old days, the American dream in the old days was to own your own home. So in the old days, when you moved into a new home, this was like, you know, you've achieved success, you've got it made. So maybe a little bit of showing off of your pride. You know, look, we've got our own home now, yay! And everyone celebrates with you.
I guess it's pretty international, you know. So in Russia, we say that every man has to accomplish 3 points: build a house, plant a tree, and raise a son.
Plant a tree. We don't have plant a tree. Okay.
In Spain, instead of build a house, they say write a book. Write a book, have a child, and plant a tree.
You guys are more entrepreneurial than we are.
I have one question for Teacher Lee. Is it possible in the United States to build a house in the middle of nowhere, like in the movie? Because in Spain, it's not possible.
Well, you can do. I mean, if you buy property, you can build a house anywhere you want. The problem is there's no road to it, and there's no electricity to it, and there's no internet cables to it. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere, like this guy, he's got a generator. I guess he runs a generator 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's damned expensive, especially with gas right now going up, gasoline going up so high. But again, for internet, you'd have to install a satellite dish to get TV and internet. So you could do it, but most people don't. And again, you got the road. You know, if you're a lone house out in the middle of nowhere, the state or the city is not going to pay money to build a road just to one house, you know, or run electricity cables to one house. So it's not practical.
Yeah, so it's possible, but expensive, and probably for rich people, and probably for special mindset, right? If people want to be isolated, right? So usually people want different things, right? They want cultural life, or some of them, right? So to live alone, not what everyone wants.
You know, I would love to live out in the middle of the woods away from everybody and have my electricity and my internet, you know, but it's just not practical.
Yeah.
And it's more dangerous, I think.
A little bit of danger, but I could have if I was rich, I could have a security system and, you know.
Aggressive dogs.
a guard in the guard tower to get rid of the bears, you know.
Sniper.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on. Angel, would you like to read the next paragraph?
Okay. She soon catches up with his car, but to her surprise, he turns at the hospital. Distracted by this, she collides with another vehicle. Mira's car is taken to a body shop, and she takes over home. She tells Henry what happened and asks why he went to the hospital. He tells her he just took a wrong turn. With her own car out of action, Mira borrows Henry's car to get to work. In the car park, she meets the detective in charge of the case. He tells her the surviving intruder has died, so the case is now closed. Mira also learns that the man died on the night she followed Henry to the hospital. Now deeply suspicious, Mira looks through the GPS record on Henry's vehicle and sees the Cope home address. She goes there and manages to enter the trailer.
Yeah, very suspicious, right? At this moment.
Yes, she was dubious.
he's made that trip many times in the building of the house, and take a wrong turn. Come on, I can drive 60 miles to work and not even think about it and turn, and it's automatic. So that's nonsense.
Yeah, she didn't buy that in, I think.
Plus, the house has been broken into twice, and they're going to have a housewarming party sometime. They can schedule it any day, but he says, I've got to go out right now at nighttime and leave you alone so I can go buy some supplies for the party. Do it tomorrow. Come on. I mean, it's just so stupid. I'm going to leave you alone again, even though we've been broken into twice.
And your wife is traumatized by the event, right? So you have.
So he went to kill him, right?
Yes. He actually killed him. We don't know how. It wasn't shown in the movie, but we understand it happened.
It was his aim to kill him.
Yeah, he just went click.
Yeah, so he was a cold-hearted killer. Right? Yeah. And speaking about wrong turn, it was not natural even when he spoke this, right? So he was not nervous actually, right, Angel? When he spoke, he was pretty confident, right? I just took the wrong turn. I got this foods from the grocery. So he was confident, but it was hard to believe already at this point.
Yeah, and his wife loves him, and she thought he was the best one because he was supportive to her. So there was no a tower of doubt.
Okay, let's go through them. Let's find. Oh, wow.
Inside, she finds an envelope bearing the logo of Henry's construction company with the address written in his handwriting. Mira opens the family mailbox and finds a package containing a video camera. A neighbor appears and confronts her, saying she saw her car there a few days before and accusing her of snooping.
Mm-hmm.
He seizes the package and bangs it against a wall. Mira grabs the package and leaves. Back home, she tries to play the video, but it will not work properly. She sees only the image of Dylan Cook.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does it mean, bangs it against the wall? You know? Against the wall, you get something and you just throw it to the wall. No, you want to destroy something.
Yeah.
No.
He didn't know what was in the package. Why would he bang it against the wall? Bam, 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 bam. I mean, that's not something I would naturally do. Bang bang a package against the wall. It's like, what? It didn't make any sense to me.
Another thing, when you want to send a videotape, do you send it with the camera, inside the camera? Very, very strange.
Well, if the tapes aren't standard size, maybe, but yeah, that's pretty unusual. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So this guy who confronted her, he was how would you describe this guy? Well, this guy who confronted her in this neighborhood. He looked like a bum, right? So homeless, probably drunk, aggressive, right? So low-class people, I would say. Right? A scam, right? That's why it's important for sure. I don't remember. But somehow I remember she made a conclusion from this. Oh, okay, let's find it out later. Okay, let me read this one, small one. She orders another camera online because the camera was broken, arranging to have it delivered to her work address. already, right? So already she tries to hide her investigation, right? So she ordered to the work address. She decided to search Henry's office and find a USB chip with photos of the construction of their house. Dylan appears in the photo as one of the construction team. Henry arrives home and so she has to cut short her search. But later that night, she studies the photo again and this time sees image of Christine, the missing girl. Okay, so at this point, suspense is is ended, right? We understand everything, I guess, at this point. Okay, I don't know, should we discuss anything about this? Dylan and Christine, who are they? So they are members of the Robb family, right? So Dylan is her father, I believe, and other intruders are her brothers or something, or uncles.
Yeah.
So they are all one family, right? And by this we understand they were not robbers, right? They were not just there to rob them. So the idea was different. They had no reasons, other reasons that looking for Christian, if you ask me, right? So what's the idea? But they had criminal records, right? They are from the poor neighborhood. They had criminal records in the police, detective said. So they were, how we call it, under the suspicious, right? So they were.
Yeah.
It is thieves or criminals, right?
So small crimes. Yeah, small crimes.
Yeah, okay. Gerard, could you please continue?
Okay. The next day, Mira confronts Henry. She wants to know why an envelope with his handwriting was at the Cobb trailer, why he himself had visited the trailer, why he started keeping a gun, and how come he has pictures of the missing girl on his computer. Henry explains he was short of cash to complete building the house, and he committed fraud in order to get extra cash, but intended to repay the money. Dylan Cobb had worked for him, but Henry fired him after he saw Dylan mistreating his daughter. Dylan was enraged and sought revenge and also threatened to expose Henry's dodgy financial dealings. Henry had been paying Dylan to keep quiet, but after he stopped paying, Dylan and the other Cobb men broke into the house. Mira is reassured by Henry's explanation, and happiness is restored.
Well, do you think that happiness was restored at this moment?
No, I don't think so. Mira wasn't totally convinced.
Well, me neither at this point. So this guy, he didn't like sound plausible to me. It was kind of strange story. What do you think?
But Henry was very good at inventing stories, you know, very fast, incredible, a professional.
Right. No time, right? So he invented the story, but I don't know. It was
convincing.
Yeah,
I mean, he was his face didn't show any emotion that he was lying.
Yeah, he spoke about this financial dodgy things, but he was rich, right? We can see this. We can see this house, right? Everything. So I don't know what's the reason to make some affairs strange.
In America, there are a lot of men who are control freaks. They control the money. They don't let the wife know anything about their finance. Now, my wife, she sees my paycheck stubs. She knows exactly how much money I bring in. But it's like the wife didn't know, oh, I built this great big house out in the middle of nowhere. Really nice. Designed it myself. But I couldn't afford to build it. Wouldn't she know whether or not he could afford to pay for a home that he bought for her? It does.
And is it possible that she never asked? Never. So you build a house and I don't care, right? So is you a rich guy or a poor guy? It's just not my deal. So it's not plausible.
I don't care how much it costs to build a house. Women like to know these details.
It's not cheap. I mean, building a house in America is not cheap, and building it in the middle of nowhere is really not cheap. Yeah. So unless they were rich, she should have said, "How the hell did you afford to build this fancy house in the middle of nowhere?"
Right.
I don't know.
Another thing that I did not like about this dialogue, it was him playing on her guilty feelings or something. You know, he said, this insurance that we paid for your treatment or cancer treatment, it did not cover all these expenses. Well, man, so you probably put your money on your wife, not to your building, right? In this case. So
he was blaming her.
And blaming in what? So blaming of getting sick. So it was
having cancer.
And if she knows he's spending a lot of money on her cancer treatments, she should doubly wonder how he afforded the home.
Right. Okay, let's go further. Leila, could you help us?
Yep. When the new video camera arrives, she's no longer interested in looking at the film she found at the Cup home. Finally, it is the night of the housewarming party, and with the house full of guests, the party is in full swing. When Mira happens to see a TV news item about the still missing Christine Cope, her suspicions are reawakened. She gets a new video camera and plays the tape. On it, Dylan Cope talks about how he did not like the way Henry looked at his daughter. And after after Christine went missing, Dylan went to Henry's house with his dog, which started barking furiously in the vicinity of the office.
Right. What is vicinity?
Vicinity is surrounding environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what is strange about this story, about this paragraph? Well,
I mean, the moment she felt relaxed, then she started being suspicious again. So it's a kind of conflict in her. She was really, I think, surprised and shocked. And here, I felt excited a bit because when she tried to find out what was on the tape, I think Henry was going to see her,
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Another suspicious thing, why they didn't talk with the police,
Exactly.
The police officer looked quite intelligent.
Yeah.
I think if they told him the suspicions, he would have investigated that.
But even more, Gerard, what I think about, we know that the girl is missing like for some time, right? And we know the case was reported to the police. So police know about this missing girl. So how came that police never talked to Henry before this, right? So she went here for construction site, right? So her father worked there, and police never talked to Henry. It's kind of strange to me, right?
But do you remember the scene when the detective talked to Henry the first time? I mean, I love the detectives in a way because he was suspicious, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His eyes, told a lot of things.
I had the same impression. So he was not talkative guy, this detective, right? But he delivered his point very well, right? So
yeah.
So he said, why they did not took anything from your house, right? And look at this girl, and they are all the family. So the puzzle is, we can see the puzzle now, I guess.
Teacher Lee, there is something that I would like to ask you. In the second line at the end, the party is in full swing. So the party is going on fast or what?
Yeah, in full swing means everyone's involved. It's kind of reached a maximum activity or a lot of activity. Yeah.
Thank you, dear teacher Lee.
So it's not just starting to swing, it's going at a good speed. Everyone's having a good time. It's in full swing. It's built up momentum and it's moving along very well. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Leila, what do you think? What it tells us? So they had a lot of friends, right? And their friends feel comfortable in their house, right? So probably they are not sociopaths, right? They are kind of
No, but Ivan, just if you noticed, I think Mira is more friendly with them. Henry talks for a short time, said cheers and leaves and goes to other place. I think Mira is more friendly. Henry doesn't show his feelings. When you look at his face, you can understand what he is thinking.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on. We are close to that, I guess. Jihan, would you like to read?
Okay. Mira goes to Henry's office and finds a hidden switch, which opens a secret door to a basement. Down in the basement, Christine is discovered bound to a chair, attached to pipes by chains. This is the cause of the mysterious banging noises which have occasionally been heard in the house. Mira tries to free the girl, but Henry arrives in the basement before she succeeds. He tells Mira that he always had perverted urges, but that he didn't choose to be this way. Mira finally realizes that the reason Henry built their isolated home was so he could have a secret place to keep his victims. She attempts to call 911, but Henry overpowers her and ties her up.
Jihan, what do you think? Why she did not call 911 when she found this secret door? So it's what I will do before, go to some strange place.
She was going to get out to help, to ask help from the others. She didn't know he notices her getting in his office.
What do you think? What does it mean he did not choose to be this way? What does it mean exactly?
He meant like being evil and having the girl in the basement. He didn't mean to put her in this place. And I remember he talked about she can't be pregnant and having a cancer, and all this was out of her choice, and the same to him, according to his mind, like facing this problem and having to kidnap her. It's out of his control.
No, whenever I think I did not choose to be this way, I think, don't blame me, blame anyone else, So it's
he was born that way. He was born with those urges.
Teacher Lee, what's this part reminds me of Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Wolf Man.
The Vault Man?
At night he became a wolf, kills people.
That wasn't Edgar Allan Poe, was it?
I'm not sure, not now.
Werewolf.
Okay.
Werewolf, yeah.
Edgar Allan Poe was more the telltale heart. That's
right.
Where he kills the guy and hides him under the floor. And then the police come in and walk around, and he's getting crazier and crazier in his mind.
Yeah.
So, she goes downstairs, finds this girl tied up, doesn't untie her immediately. Doesn't call 911, like you say, a little bit hokey to me, but she also has how many wives do you know that would walk into the husband's office and go and pull out the house plan and go, 2 outlets over here. Oh, there's not an electrical outlet over here. That's odd. There's no plug here. It's a plate. How many wives would figure that out? Come on.
How many people Teacher Lee, you know, I couldn't dare.
And then she takes the plug off and there's a switch inside. Come on.
And then goes down. That's the worst.
That's right.
but I still think that, you know, I don't actually like this idea that someone did not choose to be this way. I don't like this. I don't like the idea that, you know, that people blame nature or blame something but not themselves. Okay, you have some perverted urges. Okay, you born this way, but it doesn't mean you have to make this action, right? You can fight with this, I think, in some way.
Ivan, they can't think properly.
Well, I don't know.
It goes back to free will, okay? You're born with instincts and urges and natural desires. You know, you want to rape women. I was born that way. Men rape women. That's what we do, you know. Well, that would imply you had no free will. You can exercise control of your urges, you know. But he's saying, I couldn't help myself. I was born that way.
Yeah, I don't like it. I believe in the free will, and I think that, you know, every, like, people who committed crime, every person who committed crime, they have own justification, right, of this. It's not me. It's because of society, you know. I was in a poor neighborhood. I was raised in a bad way. It's mother fault. It's society fault, but never my fault. So it's what I don't like.
We usually blame the parents. Oh, he killed that guy in cold blood. It's because his parents didn't raise him right. It's not his fault. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course
That's a lame excuse.
We have it a lot in America, believe it or not. The liberals believe that. It's the parents' fault. It's the teacher's fault. It's the school's fault. It's society's fault. It's not his fault.
It's white man's fault, you know, because we are obsessive of repressing everyone else or something.
Yeah, we failed him. That's what the liberals like to say. We failed him. Oh, God. He's a dirtbag.
Okay, Angel, would you please continue?
Okay. Back upstairs, he tells their guests that Mira has had too much to drink and has gone to bed, and he sends the guests home. Mira manages to get free of her bonds, and she also frees Christine. Henry comes back down to the basement while they are trying to escape, and a chase ensues, I think. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Henry knocks out Mira and drags Christine back down to the basement.
Yeah.
Shall I complete?
No, please. Do you remember how he sent the guest home? Do you remember this? How he stopped the party?
Yes, I remember once he back to them and there was, his nose was bleeding, if I'm not mistaken, and he told them that he triple, I think, down and bang his nose on Mira's bed, I think. And yeah, he said, let's call it a night. So ask them to go home.
It was hard to believe, right? So just imagine that you are on the party, right? And husband just drag his wife somewhere and return back with a bloody nose and said, you know, she just slept and you all go home. Okay, no question asked, right?
Yes. Yeah. My wife got drunk, went to bed. I got blood on my face. I hit the door. I need to clean up the blood. Please go home. Yeah.
I understand there's something shady in this.
Oh, God.
I would not believe it. So it would make me, you know, suspicious. I would say, okay, let me please see your wife, right? And if you don't, I don't know, maybe I call police or do something.
They were just speechless.
Yeah, but I don't, it's hard to imagine that I, you know, would go home just, you know, silent. Okay, bye-bye, see you later, you know.
Nice people, yeah.
Okay, the last one, go. Could you please read?
Then he ties her up again and is about to kill her with a baseball bat, but instead he's fatally wounded when a revived Mira appears and smashes him in the head with a club. Ironically, it is a clock he had given her as a special present on their first date. A dying Henry asks Mira what she will do when she no longer has him to take care of her. She replies that she will take care of herself. The final scene shows a sunny day, Mira moving out of the now empty house and driving away.
Now empty. So it was full, but now empty. She took all the things. Okay, what does mean were revived? No, it means, do you remember on the last class we say, so do you remember this guy who was revived with a wet clothes? So he was dead, right? He was dead and then revived. So the Mira was knocked out, right? So she lost her conscious for a bit, but then he how we call it? Took her conscious.
Woke up. Just woke up.
Just woke up. Okay. Okay. So what else? What does mean to be about? Is about? What does it mean?
To think.
Is about to.
Is about to. Yes. Is about to kill. You know, is about and then to infinity.
Very soon.
Yeah, it's going to happen, right? So you are pretty sure it's going to happen. It's not like will, you know, probably. No, it's about to. I'm going to do this probably now, right? Sure. Okay, that's the end.
So this clock that she hits him with, it looked like it was like a Big Ben souvenir clock. Now, souvenirs that you buy in a store are usually very cheaply made. They're not, I mean, the way she hit him, it was like it was made out of lead.
Yep.
Or some heavy metal. It's like, come on, it was a souvenir clock. It's usually light, you know.
Isn't it the same clock that we saw the first scene? While he was talking to Mira, he was holding a kind of clock.
Yeah, it was a love gift, a romantic gift, and she used it at the end to kill him. So kind of an ironic weapon. Yeah.
Okay.
He gave it to her. She gave it back to him.
But it wasn't the Big Bang. It was for some American city. If I have forgotten, so some American city.
Okay. What city it was? Chicago. Boston. It was Boston something.
Boston. Okay. All right. Not Big Ben. Okay.
But it's not related. You're probably right. So all these souvenirs are made from cheap plastics, and you can crush it with 2 fingers. You know, not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Leila. So what do you think? Is it a happy end or not?
I mean, it's a kind of, you know, just end for me because I didn't feel anything. I was a bit tense, but that's all because, as you said, everybody can meet people like him.
Yeah.
So she handled the situation very well, I think.
But he lost her husband. Is it a happy end?
Yeah, but just think. I just look at her face. He just packed her things and looked at the house with, you know, empty eyes, and she drove away.
I think it's how we call it. It's a symbolism, right? So it's a new way, new life for me. I get rid of everything and I start my life from the scratch.
And we Americans always say, adios.
Adios.
Hasta la vista.
I love it.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, when we're leaving something we hate, we always say adios. Spanish, yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, we have a few questions from Leila. We can answer them. You can add your own question if you have some. So the first one is, when do the things first get messy for Mira and Henry? Leila, you mean in this movie, right?
Yeah. The first thing, they have become a bit suspicious, especially Mira.
Yeah. Cool.
Or Mira became a bit tense. The first scene.
Yeah. Actually, I actually don't know how to
control zoom. The mouse control zoom normally works. No? Just use your mouse. Use your mouse wheel. Yeah. Hold down the control key and use your mouse wheel.
The problem is that I don't have any mouse.
No mouse wheel? Okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so, but I will read this, okay?
My eyes are a little, okay.
Do you want me to answer one or the others?
Yeah. Do we have any volunteer to answer this? So what do you think? What was the first grain of suspicion, first bit of suspicion? Was it a gun? Was it I don't know, this package found in his car? Hard to say.
The gun. I think the first thing was the gun.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He shot someone in the back and killed him in cold blood.
And Mira witnessed this, right?
Yeah, she sees her husband kill a guy in cold blood, shoot him in the back.
And he wasn't affected at all. The next day, nothing happened.
And the guy wasn't that the young kid? He was a young kid, and he was trying to speak to her. So he wasn't doing anything threatening. He was trying to speak to her, ma'am, bam, and shot dead. It's like, something's wrong here.
Yeah, pretty strange. Okay, Leila, may I please skip one question and read number 3? So what do you think about the soundtrack of the film? Do these soundtracks make you feel tense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good question. And actually, I don't remember any soundtrack, any music. So probably I missed it.
How come? So tense, so, just serene. I don't know. The dog is barking every time. Jihan, did you notice the soundtrack?
Yes, you mean the music in the background?
Right. How did you feel?
I just lower the volume every time there's the soundtrack. It's annoying.
Because I just wrote this question because I read an article about it. The soundtracks really affect a lot of people.
Oh.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
I don't normally notice soundtracks much unless it's repetitive. Like in Star Wars, when you hear dun 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 dun, or whatever the Darth Vader music. Every time Darth Vader appears, they play the same music every time he appears, So after a while, you start noticing the music. But normally, when they just play it one time, I don't even notice the music.
Teacher Lee, this is a kind of music makes you think that something is going to happen.
Yeah.
My heart starts beating, faster.
Suspense music, yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I remember this Alien movie, right? About, about space. So with Sigourney Weaver. So it was a music, you always, wait, what will happen now? What will happen now? So because it was spooky, I would say.
Yeah.
But in this movie, everything was clear from the first 10 minutes. I knew the girl in the house somewhere. Yeah. So I'm just waiting till the end.
I guess that's the worst part of the movie, right? So it was straightforward, no twists. Everything is clear from the first moment. So sometimes I try to fool myself. I said, no, it's not husband. It's too straightforward. I should wait for. but it was this way. So yeah.
Ivan, you are not going to ask me to choose any films, at least for a year.
Leila, it's just what we call big number law. If you choose a lot of movies, some of them are trash. So I have chosen a lot of trash movies, Leila. So don't
It's not a trash movie. It's straightforward. It's just a straightforward movie. you can kind of predict what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions, I'm not sure if you have
I think what it was more suspicious was the rattling of the pipes, you know, when they said the girl was missing and the rattling of the pipe, it was clear that the girl was in the house.
Right.
Ah, yes. Also, the detective Gerard noticed that, right?
And she never rattled a long time. She just did it a little bit and stopped.
Yep. Why?
You know, I'd be banging on the pipe, you know, tap, 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 you know, tap out SOS. Then when the detective hears SOS, he's going to go, what's going on in this house, you know?
A brand new house.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
she should have tapped out SOS. That would have helped.
Okay, let's go to the slide. So we don't have a sound, so I don't know. What does it mean? Go, what do you think? What does mean this intrusion? Broken glass, shattered glass, right? Okay, so it's made of pieces of shattered glass. Okay, let's go on. Whoa, what is happening on there?
They have dinner in the restaurant.
They are having dinner in the restaurant just now. Okay, so what we can see on the table?
I think they choose in menu. They choose what they need.
Yeah, they already ordered some food, right? So they have bottle of wine, 2 glasses of wine. What is on the table? You think it's a menu, right? So they're choosing what they are going to order. Okay. And what do you see a kind of book? Yeah? What do you think? What is
this? And architecture.
About architecture? I remember it was kind of a dictionary or something strange. So they were playing words, right? I don't remember actually. It was kind of a dictionary, I guess. Okay, what about
Scrabble? Was they? Yeah, they're playing Scrabble.
Probably. So it's not a menu, it's kind of a game. They're playing game while they waiting, I guess. Okay,
my niece students will remember that we had a lesson not too long ago about death by Scrabble. It was kind of a horror story.
Okay, so what about restaurant? Is it inside or outside?
Inside.
No, we can see the sky and some kind of plants. Outside, right? Outside, and probably how we call it, a terrace, something outside.
Terrace.
Okay. Okay, what we missed? Help us.
They are hand in hand.
Sorry, Leila?
They are hand in hand.
They
are
holding hands. Yeah. Love.
What a love.
Okay, I remember we have the same type of plants which is attached to to construction. So they like to use construction as a basement.
Yeah, we call them climbing vines. They like to wrap around things and climb.
Right. Sometimes it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go further. Gerard, what about this one?
Here the house was vandalized for first time. Like the burglars were looking for something specific, and they found that they only stole the cell phones and the laptop. And that thing looks like something personal, because if you only steal that, it's very weird, especially with a house with a lot of things of value. Is this house, Teacher Lee, our house usually built with wood in America? Because I think when we see the pictures were made almost wood, everything.
Normally the frame is normally made of wood, yes. Yeah.
So they burn easily.
Yeah.
And they rip the sofa, right? So as I can see, looks like they were searching something inside, or it's just a mess.
Or just malicious. What would they be searching for?
I have no idea.
It seemed like they just wanted to make trouble. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
What we call vandalism. Vandalism is just destroying things just for fun.
Yes, I remember that their house was in middle of nowhere.
Right.
But I see lights.
Outside.
A lot of light.
Outside. Right?
Outside.
That may be a reflection of the light inside.
Probably they have some backyard, so I don't know, some kind of park. I'm not sure. Parking slot.
I can't tell, yeah.
Okay, are we ready to go on to the next one? Leila, what is happening now? Who is this guy?
Mira is a kind of therapist, if I'm not wrong. She's talking to this guy in order to make him feel relaxed. And he was talking about his mother. This is her office, a very, just a professional office, I think. I can see the lamps. I can see everything. She's very tidy.
Well, there are two strange things to me, if you ask me. So first of all, I imagine the cabinet of therapy is kind of, with fewer things as possible. So I don't expect, very a lot of things, a lot of details here. I would expect, just one sofa, one chair, that's all, not to distract people. It's first one.
Yeah, Ivan, there's one thing I thought about it. Jihan, you said psychiatrist, is she?
I think so.
She was some kind of a counselor. She helped people work through their mental stress.
Because literally, if she were a psychiatrist, she could understand her husband, I thought.
Yeah, you'd think so. Good point.
I have one question. When I saw this young guy and then the other guy, young guy dead, I thought it was, were they the same guy or not?
Yeah. It's the same Vova did. Vova said, wow.
Yes, the same question popped my head as well.
Yeah.
She killed own patient. Oh, do you remember?
So was this guy one of those intruders?
I don't think so.
No. First, I thought like that, but then I understood no.
The one who said, please help me.
But let's just think logically. These guys, they were from cop's family, a poor family, who probably don't have money for counseling service. So probably just a similar guy.
Good point.
Like could be something social, like social services.
In America, I don't know.
Do you have social services in America, Teacher Lee?
Oh, yeah. The liberals love that crap. They want to get rid of the police and have social workers go out to all the crimes.
What?
Yes. I don't understand why she need
help people?
No.
Papers?
Yes, papers.
Yeah, she's got a paper and pencil on her desk, and yet she's got one in her lap.
And no computer. What is the computer?
Yeah.
I remember in future when second intrusion happened, she works on computer.
Yes, so she knows how to work on computer, right? Because she was.
What she was doing?
Yeah, she was interrogating husband's computer, right? So, but not on the work. On the work, she used a piece of the paper. Yeah, strange. And if she's a counselor, and she spoke about some therapy, so she doing own therapy. probably very bad, right? For education.
Very bad.
Her desk is just full of crap. It's like, you know, a Japanese sand garden or some crap, you know. It's got a little bottle of white sand, a picture of somebody. Everything is laid out very evenly spaced to take up all the desk space. What a stupid
I thought
desk.
it was tidy. You should see my desk, Teacher Lee.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's go to the next one. Jihan, would you like to describe this scene?
I think this is the detective. They are in his living room. Fancy decor. I don't know what to say. Like,
what I remember about this scene, at this scene, the husband Henry, right? It was the first time when he lost his temper. He was talking to detective like, "Shouldn't you do something useful instead of, you know, asking me?"
Questions, right?
Yeah, I have to help my wife, not speak to you, something like this.
Yeah, it says we went out to dinner. What time was that? Oh, 7 or 8. Was it 7 or was it 8? You know, instead of answering, shouldn't you be doing something else? Come on, just say it was 7 or it was 8. But he's quibbling over, don't ask me about what time I was out for dinner. Yeah. Are you trying to hide something? You know, that didn't feel natural to me. I don't know.
And also when the detective asked about the cell phones.
Yeah. And if I were a detective, I would be suspicious at very this point. You know, if people don't answer clearly, if they, you know, trying to, I don't know.
But Ivan, yeah, you had already been suspicious. You told us.
But I think the detective should be suspicious at this point as well. You know.
I think I'm sorry. I think he was.
Yeah.
He asked about the alarm system as well.
Okay, so we can see coffee table, right? And this coffee table, how we call it, or magazine table, and it has a kind of a shelf inside, right? Inside for small.
But if the detective, the detective, if he was suspicious, he should have inspect the house and search, because there was something shady. But he didn't.
You need a warrant to do that, I think.
You need kind of reasoning for this, not only warrant, but reason.
Yes. Why he was indolent and complacent. So
maybe because everything is clear. One house in the middle of nowhere, clear rooms.
Intrusion, and suddenly you hear pipe rattling in the house.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you think about his, uniform?
I love the way he got dressed. Look at the boots. Look at the hat, cowboy style.
Yeah,
like Texas.
Right.
But it was in New Mexico. It's close, right, to Texas.
Okay, close to Texas. Okay, New Mexico. Okay, yep, good point.
And Henry also in black clothes. Like, I think most rich people prefer to wear black. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe
no fashion sense. They open the closet, everything's black. They just pick something. It matches. I do that with my dress pants. All my dress pants are black, every one of them. So I never have to worry about matching colors. I just grab black pants, put on a shirt.
Good point. Okay, let's find anything with many details. Okay. What about this one? I think it's a funny one. Angel, would you like to describe this?
Okay, this is when the aggressive neighbor, found Mary. What was her name again? Mira? Oh,
Mira.
Yes, that when he found Mira on the mailbox and asked her what she's doing here, and she said nothing, and he he was aggressive, and he took the package from her and looked inside, and he found that it was a camera inside, and he asked her whether or not she was filming him, and she said no. Then he took the camera and smashed it against the wall and asked her not to come back, to sling the hook. So yeah.
I can see a few funny things here. Not funny, interesting things here. So first one, what is behind her? It's kind of a gas pipes, right? And meters.
Those are electricity meters. It looks like she's in a trailer park. So a lot of mobile homes, a lot of trailers, and all of their electricity lines, electrical cables go through this one point. And this measures how much electricity each trailer is using. And that's how the electricity company sends you a bill every month. So every home in America has one of these round electricity meters on the outside of the home. So they can send a person around, he can come to your house, outside your house, go look at the meter. In the old days, he had to read the meter and write it down to measure how much electricity you're using. Now, the meters are digital and computerized, and they don't have to come to your home every month now. But in the old days, every month, they had to come to your house, go outside your house, find your meter, and write down the numbers on it, and it counted how much electricity you used. So this is like a group electricity meter station. And there's a group mailbox. Every trailer has a mailbox in that little bank of mailboxes there.
I remember the post is delivered only once a week, right? Wednesday or something. It was written there. Speaking about this electricity meters, I think in Russia we have the same system, kind of the same, but you know, we trust people. So I myself should read the meter, call them, and tell how many numbers. And once a blue moon, they do random checking. So once in 10 years, they can check you. But usually, we just, you know.
Self-report, huh? Wow. we would never trust people to do that here. I didn't use anything this month.
Maybe because electricity is cheap, you know, so no one cares, you know. So it's like, I guess because of this. Okay. That's all, right? So yellow package is kind of a postal thing, I guess. Thing for post. Okay, let's find something interesting. I actually don't remember a few episodes. What about this, Giraffe? Could you please describe it?
Okay, here's the moment Mira found the girl, Christine, hidden in the basement.
Yeah.
I think she's reassuring her. He wants to help her. And then when the husband, Henry, comes back.
What I think about this basement, so he kind of, he was accurate. He was trying to predict everything, right? He built this metal, I don't know how it comes, rings or bars inside the wall, right? So to attach people to them. But he put her close to the pipe, right? So she can make sound. So it's kind of strange. So it was a big room. You can make a seat in the center, but instead of that, he put her around the...
And what was even more strange, Henry must heard that the noise of the...
Right.
Ah, no, maybe the noise was made when he was inside with her. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knew she could make noise in the home, and he didn't seem to care. Now, one thing that struck me as odd. Oh, did Vo want to say something?
You want?
Yes. Maybe he
attached
this rope to
the pipe.
To a pipe for two pipe. Pipe is metal.
Yeah, because it's a pipe is a metal thing, very strong, right? So you cannot pull it out. So it was his idea. But he also made, do you remember these rings? So there is metal rings in the wall. So it's probably it's a better way, right?
Yeah.
Literally.
So what struck me as odd, usually a person that's going to capture a woman and keep her prisoner in the basement, usually they do that for sexual gratification. They have sex with the woman. This guy didn't seem to do that. He just went down there, and she said he just stared at her with the baseball bat and said, "Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yes.
Not today." You know. And then eventually he's going to hit her and kill her. What's the purpose of that? What? I don't understand. There's no sexual gratification. Why is he doing this?
Strange guy. Yeah.
But he keeps saying, he keeps saying, I decided when.
Yeah,
what does he mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I decide when, yeah.
I don't
he can control his urges.
Yeah, he could control his urges then. Not today. I decide when.
I want to kill her then. I see. So I'm just wondering, this is not the first victim, right? So once he killed the victims, where did he hide them?
Well, yeah, the dead bodies he killed, did he, I guess the police came and got those, huh? The intruders?
Yeah.
But see, he shot the guy in the back. The police didn't ask, why'd you shoot him in the back? You know.
And another thing, you know, in this basement, he needs a lot of things, right? He needs food for her and many things. So it's not one day, right?
How did he get her in the basement? I guess that was before the wife moved in.
Yeah.
But how's he going to get? How's he going to get victims in and out without the wife knowing? She's, you know, I guess they both work. Well, maybe he didn't. Well, they both work during the day. You know, it doesn't make sense how he could do that. Feed her and give her a bath, and she's got to go to the bathroom.
How does she still survive? And did he feed her? And
yeah, I mean, does he disappear every hour in the home for 5 minutes? Where'd you go? Oh, I was in the other room. Where'd you go? I was in the other room. You know, why do you keep disappearing every 2 or 3 hours? You know.
Okay. I am not gonna choose another film for you.
No, it's okay.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault, Layla. It's plot holes.
Yeah.
But he was answering his wife, you know, I'm caring of you, you know, I do everything for you. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, kind of the same, but we can see this, you know, rings, metal rings that I mentioned, right, in the wall, and there are many. Probably he was about to kidnap many people, I guess. Hard to say.
So where are the pipes that were rattling then? She was in a chair.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. It was over here.
The same chair.
Over
yes,
here.
The same chair sitting. And
pipes are over there. We can't see them. Okay.
But how people will construct this area and putting these metals
it doesn't look. I don't know why it was built that way.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, if you're gonna tie her to the rings, then tie her to the rings. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he need such a big room?
Yeah.
He needs more people, Gerard.
But I think he would do only one person at a time.
I don't know.
Yes, he want the person to last many days. So you know when.
So, Teacher Lee, what do we call secret of a place like this, basement like this? What do we call it?
Just a secret room or a secret chamber.
Secret basement.
If you remember Harry Potter, right? You had the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah,
right.
So a secret chamber, yeah.
Yeah, so we know that there was a construction crew, right? This Code family, and they built this secret room, but then they cannot find it, right? During the intrusion.
In the old days, in the castles, the room at the bottom underground room was a dungeon where they tortured people.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a modern dungeon.
Right. Well,
no one can hear you scream. In my dungeon, no one can hear you scream.
Okay, and the last one, I guess, a happy end, right? Well, it's a picture of happy end. Well, would you please describe it?
You said Layla?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the picture, and she's trying to put her belongings behind the truck. And you know, when I first started watching the movie, everywhere looked very nice, you know, just blooming flowers, blah blah. Because of this event, I can see only bush and dried leaves. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it affects me a lot. And she's leaving. Adios.
And we can see that the road actually is pretty good. It's an asphalt, right, teacher? This black surface.
Yeah. There's a road built to one house. Who, maybe, you know, the county's not going to build a road, spend millions of dollars to build a road to one house. They're not going to do it. So that's kind of hokey.
Yeah. Another real weird thing. Woman as wealthy as her, would she rent a truck and a loan to pick up the furniture and belongings?
Exactly. That truck is what we have a company called U-Haul. Mm-hmm. And it's for poor people. You can rent a truck. You have to pack it yourself, drive it yourself, unload it yourself. You do everything yourself.
Maybe.
Why is she doing that? Yeah.
Maybe she didn't want anything. Maybe she didn't want his money.
But she wanted furniture, you know?
Yeah, but she's got
no,
her own...
not a lot of furniture, you're right. Look.
She's got her own job, though. Yeah, but...
She took a few things.
But she's renting a moving truck herself and doing all the manual labor herself. She's got a job. He had a job. They should have enough money that they could pay someone to do that for her.
Yeah, not that expensive.
You know.
Teacher Lee, how much do you think would it cost a house like this? $1 million or more?
You mean for the house itself?
Yes.
Yeah, that could probably easily be $1 million home. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so her husband was rich, not her.
Yes.
As we can see. Okay, it was.
Yeah, these plants, who waters their plants? They didn't have a gardener. They didn't have anyone to take care of their plants.
The husband did everything.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
He was a good guy, right? He was a good guy. He had only few...
And before he died, he wanted to make sure she will be safe. He asked her, who will take care of you?
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay, so yeah, she killed a good guy, right? He had only one defect, let's say, right? And he wasn't born this way. It was not his fault.
It was not his fault.
Right? And this girl, Christina, he was from poor neighborhood, right? So who cares? So
if you had asked me the question at the first, I could say we have chosen a comedy. This is a comedy, not a thriller anymore.
Okay.
It's fine, Layla. It was a suspense movie.
He was the ideal husband, except he did a small detail.
Yeah.
and she did not tolerate only one small detail, right? So he did everything for her. He struggled with her cancer, with finance, with everything.
Prepares breakfast.
Yeah, breakfast, right? Took care of her plans, and the only small details she could not tolerate. So
yeah, that's right. No accommodation at all.
Okay. Thank you very much. Nice conversation.
Thank you.
As always. Thank
you for everybody. Thank you, Teacher Lee.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.